10-15 minutes. Before we get there, we have a few more things to talk about if you're interested. So on the left-hand side, you can see this quite impressive island in the distance with two sharp peaks. This is called Skrova, and it is at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock now in the distance. This is nicknamed the Hawaii of Lofoten, or the Maldives of Lofoten, and that's because it has quite a lot of beaches, and if you go hiking around then you can be on your own, not see anyone else, enjoying the views, and from the top of it as well you have impressive views of the surrounding islands and the mainland Norway in the distance as well. There is a free ferry that can take you there, and we can see it right now at 10 o'clock. So to the left and ahead of us in the distance, this is a free ferry. It takes about half an hour to get back and forth, and it goes 4 or 5 times a day between Svolvær and Skrova. Now as we get closer to the harbour area, on the right hand side you will see some very typical sights of Lofoten and northern Norway. These traditional fish drying racks, some wooden structures which I like to call the pyramids of Lofoten. Now this is where the local fishermen dry the fish that they catch in this area, and the fish they catch here is called the Norwegian sky cod. This is the migrating Norwegian cod, and the word sky itself, which is the nickname of this fish, means to wander. So this is the wandering cod. I'll put a picture on the screen as well. As you can see, it's quite a big fish, and every year in winter it undertakes this long migration from the Barents Sea all the way to these waters here. It takes between 2 and 2.5 months to get to these waters, and this is where they lay their eggs and spawn for the new generation. So of course large quantities of these fish are caught, and the activity itself by the Viking boats from many centuries ago. But the fish that is caught, of course, it's prepared, it's cleaned, and then the next step to do with it is simply to hang it to dry in the wind. This area has the perfect conditions for just leaving the fish outside on these racks, and nature takes care of the rest. We have, of course, the perfect temperature. It's warm enough so the fish doesn't freeze, but also cold enough so it doesn't rot. And if you look around, you'll see all these small islands, mountains, fjords, valleys. So there is quite good air circulation and airflow. So that helps, of course, with the drying of the fish. It takes about 2 to 2.5 months to dry the fish, and when it's dried, it loses about 80% of its mass. So from 1,000 kilograms of fresh fish, you get about 200 kilograms of dried stockfish, as it's called. Now when you want to eat it, you have 2 options, or a few options. The 2 main ones are you take the fish, you hit it with a hammer to get it, make it more tender and chewable, and get it to break into small pieces, or you soak it in salt water for a few days, and then it's ready to be consumed. Of course, the fish loses a lot of liquids as it dries, but it retains a lot of the nutrients. This is packed with protein, for example, about 85% protein. So imagine the Vikings, which were known to have these fish on board their vessels, how important this was for them traveling long distances, having this nutritious food. on board. So we can see the flying racks on the right hand side now, and if you want to visit them, it's possible to walk all the way to these structures from the harbour. It's about 30 to 35 minutes walk from our docking place. This island to the right hand side is called Spinoja. It's a beautiful island. We can walk all the way to the flying racks. There are some benches there. We want to continue a little bit further. We have the statue that we can see now at 1 o'clock. Her name is Piscatore, with the fisherman's wife. And you know, being a fisherman is quite hard thing to do. Because they were saying that there's every fisherman after the fisherman walked in. It's one of the most dangerous jobs that you can do in Norway, still to this day. And think about it, back in the day when we didn't have any means of communication, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have internet, and so on and so forth. When these fishermen went out, they didn't know if they would see their families ever again. And in this area we have quite bad weather, despite it looking very calm today. I can assure you this is an exception. The waves around here have been measured to be more than 5 meters high. Further out into the West Fjord, even 16 meters, 18 meters, that's the record. So many fishermen never made it back from their fishing trips. So when that happens, of course, back at home it was the wives, the mothers, the sisters and the daughters who were left behind to take care of the family and the family business. So this Piscatore statue, the fisherman's wife, she was erected in 1999 by Per Ung, a Norwegian artist. And it pays tribute to these unsung heroes of the fishing community here. So every time we leave, she waves us goodbye. When we come back, she waits for us, looking for us as we arrive. But this is the last thing I will talk to you about. Of course, there's a lot more to talk about if you have the time. But because we are about to dock, we need to close the lower deck outside. So if you're outside on the lower deck, you have to make your way upstairs to the second or the third decks or inside. So because we are at the end of the adventure here, something Norwegians say at the end of any trip is takk for turen. This means thank you for the trip. We hope that you enjoyed the different sightings, the different kinds of animals, the stories, the legends, and the amazing weather as well. So what I can wish you is an amazing rest of your stay here in Lofoten. Enjoy the rest of this fantastic weather, and see you again soon. If you want to help us, of course, you can bring down the cups that you used, and on your way out, we will invite you outside when we are docked and fully secured. So again, thank you, and see you again soon. Thank you.
हाँ अच्छा स्टोरी बताइए बोर्ड कितना खूबसूरत है Fun hotel, slowly. That's the place we sat down, you know. They're all over there also. No, we sat down on that one. The wheelers, yes, the big views. Together, we went in. Let's go. Yeah, it's right here. Right here. Just go right now. This is open. Just go 2 minutes. Right there. Right there. Go inside.